All right, what's up, everyone? This is Mash the Stampede, and I wanted to do a very special video. Try to get through it as quickly as I can. This is actually going to be my diecast collection vid. I've been thinking about different stuff I could do for the channel. I've obviously done a couple of card videos so far, but I also have a lot of diecast cars, uh, various sizes, various different motorsports. And I thought, why not go ahead and just show off the collection? So, obviously, you probably noticed that the mat is gone that I usually use for the cards. Instead, we're going to be using this as a little panorama diagram, background, whatever you want to call it. I actually got this from the Initial D model kit video that I did for our YouTube channel, Two Stupid Gamers. There's a little guardrail that comes with it, but I never bothered to set that up, so I figured this would be perfect. I'm sorry if it droops or anything like that, or if it's not even. It's literally just a piece of paper. Anyway, we're gonna start off with the 1/64 scale, the one of the smallest diecasts that they make. And for these, I want to go through them a little bit quicker, so I'm gonna take the backdrop away. But yeah, first off, when I was in a Target, I noticed that they tend to sell a lot of these kind of 1/64 scale diecasts, and they had a bunch of Kevin Harvick stuff. So this was during Kevin Harvick's final season. At the time, he was my favorite. He was my favorite active driver. So seeing him leave the sport obviously sucks, but it was his time to finish his career. And when I saw this Kevin Harvick stuff, it was relatively affordable. And I thought to myself, they're not really gonna produce. They're not really gonna produce new ones of this. So right there we have the 1/64 scale 4 Ream car. I like the color scheme, the black, white, and pink. And of course, I'll try to zoom out a little bit more. We have a full hauler, which I was never really into this, but I love the Hunt Brothers green car that Harvick ran. So yeah, I definitely wanted to pick this up as well. Once again, this is the team doesn't exist anymore, not in the same capacity, and Kevin Harvick is gone as well. So I definitely wanted to get this for preservation purposes. It was so cool to get to watch his career over the years. So obviously, well, I wanted to go ahead and get it. One of my favorite drivers. I don't have a lot of Hot Wheels, but I wanted to get this one just for the fact that, it's an Audi Quattro. Nothing too crazy here. It's stylized like the rally car. This is actually officially licensed, so it says right there, it's an 84 Audi Sport Quattro. And again, the design is just really nice on it. They're not crazily detailed. They're obviously relatively cheap. It says over here it's 9 out of 10, so I'm not sure if this is like a collector's item, and I saw it, I'm like, come on, it's an Audi Quattro. Like you can't not take it. So I had to get that. And my last two for the 64 scale, it's actually going to be two cars that I was gifted. So first up here we have the Pocono track car. So whenever there's a NASCAR race, they always make a design for a car that's only tied to the track. This isn't tied to a driver or anything. These are very cool because it like preserves. I mean, if you went to the race, it's a really, really nice souvenir. I'm gonna see if I can zoom it in and you guys could see it. I'm not sure, but right there is a date. So it even keeps the date of the race on the little car. I don't want to unbox this. This was actually a gift from my good friend, Focal Frank. This is right after I did the Drive Pocono stock car experience for the Two Stupid Gamers YouTube channel. And yeah, Frank just got this for me. So shout outs to Focal Frank. Thank you for the awesome gift. And right there we could see Pocono Raceway number 19 fall program card, 2019 Camaro ZL1 limited edition 1/64 scale. So yeah, thank you Frank. Appreciate that. And the other one is, like I said, also a gift. So this is a Toyota AE8511. This is the car that Takumi from Initial D, his best friend, ended up getting, because Takumi has an 86. Spoiler alert, Kitani got the 85. And as you can see, it's from Tomica Limited. So my buddy Snapple Pants went all the way to Japan, and he got tons of gifts for all of his friends. And I'm very grateful that he gave me this awesome Initial D 1/64 scale diecast. I also really like that it comes with a plaque too. It's silver, so you have the initial D logo. It says 88511. It looks really cool. I don't want to open this. I like that it's in the box and stuff, but yeah, and obviously on the back there's a bunch of text. I can't read it. It might actually just be Tommy. It might actually be that this is the company right here, Tomy. But yeah, very cool. I'm obviously a massive Initial D fan, and greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, Snapple Pants, and as well, thank you, Frank, for the Pocono car. Yeah. All right, real quick, I actually forgot one. This is a Red Bull Oracle Racing Formula One car from Burago. I completely forgot about this. Honestly, I bought it so long ago. But yeah, so this is going to be for Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Not the biggest Formula One fan, but I have been paying attention more. And again, I saw this at a Target. It was maybe like a handful of bucks. So I just decided to pick it up. It's gonna be really hard to see because I don't like to take the stuff out of the box, but just looking at this up close, I think maybe 143 might be the best scale in terms of diecast because it'll be affordable still since it's not so big, but it's not as small as a 164, so they could put a lot more into it. And just looking at this car up close, like there are tons of contours and edges and the logos and the decals on the car are just super sharp and perfect the way they are. So I might look out for this scale. I usually just see 164 or 124, but I'll definitely look out for 143 in the future. And yeah, it must be said that the modern Formula One car is it's such a treat to look at. It is such a marvel and beautifully designed vehicle that it's one thing that even if I'm not a huge Formula One fan, I had to have one of these in my collection for sure. All right, so now I'm gonna start off with a couple of my favorite size diecast, which is 124. Of course, 124 are going to be bigger, which generally means you're paying more money for each one than you would with the 164 or even the 143. But I just love the amount of detail that you get. Now, the only other issue is that with these, of course, it takes more space. So first up is going to be the number 7 Hooters, Alan Kawicki. I bought this online, secondhand, so it's definitely a used. It's definitely a bit of a used car there. Yeah. So again, 124, Alan Kawicki, one of my favorite drivers of all time. I just picked this up online. I've always been a fan of this paint scheme. We've seen Chase Elliott reference this paint scheme a lot. I think now that Hooters is going away, we're not going to see this brand in the company in the sport anymore. But they were actually sponsoring Chase Elliott just like they did for Kawicki. For some of these 124s, you also have an openable hood, which is pretty cool. You can obviously see the engine that's inside there and turning wheels. Not always, but typically that's what they have. Whenever you buy an older 124 scale online, it might not always be in the best shape. Obviously, the wheels are super loose. It's not the cleanest, but for maybe 10 or 15 bucks, I definitely needed this car to be part of my setup. And speaking of cars I bought online, I picked up this IROC themed Kurt Busch car. I forget the year of it. I'll try to look it up. I believe that this would be sometime in the 90s, maybe or just 2000s, but yeah, I've always been a fan of these cars. This one I believe is a Pontiac. I'm not 100% sure. IROC is separate from NASCAR, but they would all keep the same make, if I'm not mistaken. So it would always be all Dodge or all Pontiac or all Chevy or whatever. And yeah, Kurt Busch is one of my favorite drivers of all time from the sport. So I saw this. It was relatively cheap. I had to get it. Same with the Kawicki. You can move the wheels. You can pop open the hood as well, which this hood goes all the way back. I like that, just because we get to really see what's going on in the engine bay. And you also get to open up the trunk as well. So overall, really cool. I've seen these cars in person. They're really neat. super nostalgic with the footage because this series went away after some time. So just owning one of these is great. And yeah, fantastic to add to my collection. Of course, I was looking for a Kurt Busch car, and this IROC Kurt Busch car came up. And yeah, for a decent price, since it's a little bit older of a kit, I had to go for it. And for the final of my 124 scales, Kenny Irwin 28 Haviline. This car is a legendary paint scheme. Just like with the Kawiki one, this is one of the paint schemes that just stands out to me over the years. But a lot of different drivers have used this paint scheme. Unfortunately, Kenny Irwin passed away. But yeah. But yeah, this one I did not actually order online. I actually found this in a variety shop that sells various cards. They sell various memorabilia, some video games, and I saw this. I think it was maybe like $9, maybe 10, and I just thought to myself I had to have it. Now, at first I thought I found something crazy, and I thought I found a Ford Thunderbird, but it's actually a Ford Taurus, which means that this is a more recent one. This is not a Davey Allison 28 Haviline, but nonetheless, I mean, just owning this is great. Like with the other diecasts, you have the hood that you can open, so we could take a look at the engine bay, which is nice. And you can also do the trunk on this one. I'm not sure why the trunk doesn't open on the Hooters car, but you can open the trunk on this. So yeah, fantastic car. I would say personally, this is probably in like top 10 paint schemes for NASCAR. So getting to own a piece of this, a physical piece of this, which is why I like the diecast so much, the 124 diecast. You could just walk over to it and look at it anytime you want. Yeah, I'm just really happy to have this part of my collection. Okay, well now I went ahead and removed the backdrop because the last few actually have bases. So these are more recent cars, and they've come with bases that they are, let me show you right here, they are attached to via screws. I don't really feel like taking them off for the purposes of the video. Just kind of seeing them is enough in my opinion. So just going to zoom out a tiny bit so we have some more space to work with. So yeah, the first one we have is the Kevin Harvick, his final paint scheme. This was something that I actually pre-ordered and waited a couple of months for. It's from Lionel Racing. Again, the Lionel Racings, they usually put them on these nice platforms. But yeah, so since Kevin Harvick was retiring, this was the final paint scheme that he ran, and I just needed to get one of these. Now, they are very pricey. There are also special versions that you can get and stuff like that. I will say, though, what is nicer about this than some of the other ones that we've seen, you also get roof flaps that open up, which is pretty cool. These are the flaps that are used to prevent the cars from flipping over with the air. Now, the trunk is locked and it does not go up. And lastly, the the engine, it barely opens and you can't really see it all that well. But you can't really see into the engine bay all that well. But there is a openable hood as well. But yeah, I just, had to have this. At the top of the video, we point out how I am a Kevin Harvick fan, so I had to get his final paint scheme. What was cool was that here we would normally say Busch and Busch and Busch because that was his sponsor, was the Busch brand of beer. They changed it to Harvick in the Busch font, to like tribute to him. I thought that was really great. It also has a fantastic finish. Something that we see a lot of in more recent of the cars. They're very like chrome looking, reflective. But yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. Moving on to another piece that I enjoy, also by Lionel Racing, also on a platform, is going to be the number 21 Matt DiBenedetto Wood Brothers car. So this one I bought online probably maybe like 3 or 4 years after this car was being used at all. The reason I got this one was just honestly, I love the Wood Brothers paint scheme. They're one of the longest running teams in the series, and also they've been using this paint scheme, red top, white rest of the car with the 21 with the number in like gold. They've been using that since pretty much the beginning, if not the beginning, just the beginning. So very much this is a legacy paint scheme. That's why I wanted to get my hands on one of these. And you know, through the years watching him, I've enjoyed a couple of cool races featuring Matt DiBenedetto. He does not drive in the Cup Series anymore, but still cool regardless to have this. And the wheels turn, the hood opens, air flaps as well, but once again, the back does not open. So it's very cool to have a 1/24 scale of the Wood Brothers paint scheme. And now we have my current favorite NASCAR driver, which is Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG. This is the very first race that he ran was in this car, and he won it. He was driving the number 91 for Trackhouse Racing. I was just so blown away that something like that could even happen in the sport. It was in the Chicago Street Course, won it in the rain. It was such a great race to watch, and I think that kind of cemented me as a SVG fan. So I had to get this as well. Once again, it's from Lionel Racing. This is a Chevy Camaro. So it was part of Trackhouse Racing's Project 91, where he was only racing for one race at the time. So for me, it's been really exciting to see that, well, he went from basically racing one race, winning his very first NASCAR race, and then getting a full-time ride. You'll also notice that there is some damage on this car as well. I believe this is not the Victory Lane celebration because we would have the confetti on the front. This is just the raced version. So you can actually buy a version of the car that has damage all over it because it's as if it's been race worn. You can tell that both the 91 on the front and the 91 on the 91 on the driver's side and the passenger side are a little bit different in terms of how they're scratched up. What I also really like about this is the fact that Lionel Racing also gives you paperwork too. So you get a card here. It's letting you know Shane Van Gisbergen, Chicago Street Course. He's the Grant Park 220 winner. Gives you the date and some stats on the back as well. Now, the thing also came with like a smaller card, which I brought with me to a NASCAR race because I was on the off chance that I'd have a chance to see him. I wanted to get it signed. I don't know where that is off the top of my head, but yeah, you got all of this with this car. I was happy to pre-order it. I will definitely be getting some SVG diecasts in the future as well. So I'll if I make another video like this, I'll show them off for sure. But yeah, big SVG fan. This is definitely my favorite piece in my whole collection, and there's one more I have to show off. And the reason that I saved this one for last is actually because there's a special detail on it. I'm sure you'll notice it immediately. First off, it's a truck. So it is not the NASCAR Cup Series. It's not NASCAR Xfinity. It's an actual truck, which I've wanted one of the trucks because they just look so cool in iRacing, and I wanted to get one of my own. This is Ross Chastain, who now races with Trackhouse Racing, but he's at this time, I think it was Chip Ganassi when he was in the Truck Series for this one. You know, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, we got another Lionel Racing. To kind of explain some of the context of this car, Ross Chastain, for those of you that don't know, comes from Florida, and his family basically grows watermelon. So that's kind of run in his family for several generations. So to kind of call out to that, he designed a lot of different things in terms of watermelons, and it's just so brilliant to me. The truck is designed to look like it's hauling watermelons. I mean, I could not think of a more perfect use of a paint scheme for any race car. In addition to having like the red with the seeds and the watermelon crust on the bottom too, it's just such a nice car. I wish that I was kind of more involved in the sport at this time and I got to see this. This is a much older model because again, he does not race this for this team anymore. He doesn't race for this car, this truck. But you'll also notice this has a signature on the front. So that is Ross Chastain's signature. With some of the diecast that you get, especially from Lionel, you can get a version where it is autographed. I mean, it'll run you like an extra 30 or 40 bucks, but it's definitely worth it if you're a fan because now you can say, hey, I have a signed diecast that's important to you, it's good that the option is there so that you can add it to your collection. But sometimes it's just worth to go online, maybe like eBay or something, and see what's available because you might find some cool things. So when I saw a Ross Chastain autographed truck with this amazing, beautiful design, and it was autographed too, I had to get it. So yeah, that's why I saved this one for last. And that's going to be the last of these diecast cars for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this video didn't go on too long. I get kind of excited when I talk about racing and motorsports, so I rambled quite a bit, I'm sure. But if you did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one of these cars you thought was the most interesting. Which one that you like. Hell, if you have any diecasts, let me know. And yeah, I'll try to come up with some more videos to do on this channel. I just really like showing off parts of my collection and stuff. I don't want to just do card videos. The idea just popped into my head to show off the diecasts, and yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to do it. So, thank you guys. I'll see you next time.